Hi everyone, I am Prem. Welcome to my channel. 3 weeks in Bali completely changed my life. Traveled from Adelaide, Australia to complete a 200-hour yoga teacher training. At first, I thought I was simply going to learn yoga at a peaceful environment. But I never imagined that just 2 weeks after returning home, I would already be teaching my own paid yoga class in Australia. In this video, I will share my complete journey from arrival in Bali, making friends, facing challenges, and finally becoming certified yoga teacher. If you are thinking about doing a yoga teacher training in Bali, I hope my experience will help you to decide if it is right journey for you. Let's begin. My journey started in Adelaide, Australia. After around a 5.5 hour flight, I arrived at Denpasar International Airport, excited for the next 21 days. Visa on arrival cost me around 65 Australian dollars, and the process was straightforward. And as soon as I came out of the airport, driver from Yogasala was already waiting for me with the name tag. One of the main reasons I chose Bali was that I wanted to completely focus on learning yoga, away from work and everyday distractions. I wasn't looking for a holiday. I was looking for an immersive experience where accommodations, healthy meals, and yoga classes were all in one peaceful place. When I finally arrived at Yogasala in Ginyar, my first impression was exactly what I had hoped for. It was quiet, surrounded by lush greenery, and felt far away from busy tourist area of Bali. The peaceful atmosphere immediately made me to feel that I made the right decision. As I walked towards my villa and then to the Yogasala for the first time, I could already tell this journey was going to be special. The first day was all about slowing down and settling into our new home for next 3 weeks. We met people from different countries, all brought together by the same passion for yoga. We begin with a peaceful meditation followed by a traditional Balinese water blessing ceremony, which was a beautiful way to start the journey. From the very beginning, the staff made everyone feel welcome, and I was lucky to have friendly roommate who quickly became a good friend. Looking back, I couldn't have asked for a better start to this experience. Our days usually started early with meditation, pranayama, and yoga practice, followed by philosophy, anatomy, and teaching sessions. Every day was full of learning, both physically and mentally. The teachers were very supportive. They didn't just teach us yoga poses, they helped us improve with patience, encouragement, and individual guidance. I still remember practicing poses that I thought were impossible, and with the teacher's support, I gradually became stronger and more confident. But I won't lie, by the second week, my body was exhausted. Every evening I felt like completely drained, and there was a moment when I honestly thought that I will give up. Looking back now, I'm so glad I didn't. Those challenging days taught me that growth often begins when we push beyond our comfort zone. But yoga teacher training wasn't only about yoga. Some of my favorite memories actually happened outside the classroom. We painted mandalas together, challenged ourselves with ice bath, practiced yoga by the beach, enjoyed the beautiful Balinese surrounding, and shared meal and conversation together. One of the most special experiences was visiting Tirthayam pool, where we experienced the traditional water purification together. What made this journey really special was the friendships. We came from different countries, different culture, different background, but somehow we connected very easily. We laughed together, learned from each other, shared our cultures, and created memories that I know I will carry with me for a long time. That's when I realized this journey was becoming much more than just a yoga teacher training. It was about people, connection, friendships, and experiencing life together. As the course came towards the end, it was time to put everything we had learned into the practice. This was one of our practical assessments where we had to stand in front of the class and teach a yoga session. Honestly, I was nervous. Standing in front of people and guiding them through a class is very different from practicing yoga yourself. But by this point, we had spent weeks learning about alignment, adjustment, sequencing, breathing, and how to communicate as a teacher. I took a deep breath and gave it my best. This practical session gave me the confidence to step out of my comfort zone and actually see myself as a yoga teacher. And this was the moment when I realized I was ready to teach. After the practical assessment, we completed our final exam. And finally came the moment we had all waiting for, that's graduation. Receiving my certificate was more than just completing a course. It represented 3 weeks of hard work, challenges, friendship, and personal growth. I was proud of how far I had come and grateful for everyone who had been part of the journey. When I came back home to Adelaide, I realized that the biggest change wasn't that I completed the yoga course, it was the way I started looking at myself and at life. I had always wanted to become a yoga teacher, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Just 2 weeks after returning from Bali, I started my first paid yoga class. And then I gave myself a challenge. I taught a community class in Clearance Park, Adelaide with around 60 people. I remember thinking, if I can stand in front of 60 people and teach yoga, I can probably teach anywhere. Feedback at the end of the class was really positive and that gave me a lot of confidence. But what surprised me most was yoga teacher training was not just about learning how to teach yoga. It changed the way I look at the life, myself, and people around me. So, was it expensive? For me, the overall cost was quite reasonable for what was included. I paid around 1850 US dollars for the 200-hour yoga teacher training, which included shared accommodation, 3 vegetarian meals every day. I will also provide link to the Yogasala website in the description below where you can check the pricing and course details. One thing I really liked was that everything was in one place. We could stay at the villa, have our meals, and walk to the yoga sala for our classes. That means I could completely focus on the training without worrying about everyday distractions. Our group was very small, we were only 5 students. That gave us a lot of individual attention from teachers and plenty of opportunities to ask questions and practice. The training covered much more than yoga pose. We studied anatomy, alignment and adjustment, meditation, pranayama, yoga philosophy, teaching methodology, Ayurveda, and even workshops like acro yoga and arm balancing. So for me, it wasn't simply a yoga course. It was a complete immersive experience with accommodation, food, learning, practice and community all together. So, after completing the course and looking back to the whole journey, was it worth it? For me, absolutely. It was worth because I didn't just learn how to teach yoga. I learned about myself, my body, my mind, and way I look at the life. If you are thinking about doing the yoga teacher training, I would say you don't necessarily have to already plan to become a yoga teacher. If you are genuinely interested in yoga and willing to challenge yourself, I think the experience can be life-changing. And I would definitely recommend Bali for this kind of experience, especially when you are looking for peaceful environment where you can focus on your practice and learning. I also wanted to mention my teacher Vivek. If I didn't mention him in this video, I wouldn't feel that I have told the complete story. He was not just my teacher during the course, he continued to support and mentor me even I returned to Australia. I still remember when I was about to start my first paid class, I called Vivek how to structure my first class. And I still remember he was in the holiday in Japan and he picked up the phone and did not hesitate to help me. That is something I always appreciate. So if you are thinking about doing yoga teacher training in Bali, I hope my journey will help you make a decision. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to my channel Jet Set Journey 01. Thank you for watching and I will see you in next adventure.